Hello guys, welcome to Code Heaven. So in my last episode, I showed you how to set up Cognito into Cognito from the AWS console, and today I'm going to show you how to consume the Cog Cognito APIs from the client side. At first, I'll be showing you how to use Cognito from the Postman, and then later on we'll be setting up a .NET application from VS Code, and then we'll consume the Cognito APIs from it. So let's begin. At first, let's open up Postman. So, so in Postman, we'll need to add this URL here. Just use the same URL. The URL is going to be https cognito-idp and the region. So whichever region you have set up the Cognito, just put this region over here. In my case, it was US East 1, so I put that in here. And after that, it's just amazonaws.com. And in the body, you put these objects. In the inside the first object, it's auth parameters where you send username and password. And in auth flow, you use the same user password auth. We have selected this one while setting up the AWS Cognito as well. And in client ID, just put this and the client ID. This client ID you can find in AWS console as well. So once you put this one, then you can make a post request. Remember to put post over here. If you would get in here any other verbs, then it won't work. Okay, now press send. Now you get token here. So you'll get three tokens in here inside authentication result object. One is access token, another is the ID token, and another is a refresh token. So the one we need is this one, the ID token one. So if we copy this and check in jwt.io, so jwt is a website where it decodes the encoded jwt tokens. So if we put our token here, it decodes every jwt token has header, payload, and signature. Right? So in header it shows in which algorithm this was encrypted. In payload, which whatever data that we need, our user informations like sub here is our user ID and other related information like expiry time and email. You'll even get the username or roles. If you put role in here, the role will also come up in here. And the signature is it's so it's the signature how your that token was encrypted. So that which if you got this token, then it means you are successfully verified. Okay. So so this was the Postman. Now I'm going to show you how to use this in the .NET application. For that, we'll need a VS Code editor. Okay. So I'm going to go to a new. I'm going to make new file. Okay, start new file, and actually it's at first let me go to my project. Then we go to different folder. So I want to go to inside documents. Oops, document is in here. Okay, cd documents and cd development. Okay, okay, so I want to make a new application in here. So at first, let me go to the website .NET Starter. Okay, let's go to official Microsoft tutorial where I want to create a .NET Core. Okay, Web 1. Let's get started. So at first, you can check which .NET version you have by putting this in the terminal. So let's do that. .NET dash version. .NET dash version. So I've got the latest .NET 8. You can check whichever version you have in your system. I would prefer you to put .NET 8 as well, but as long as you have like .NET 5, 6 or 7, it should be fine. Okay, let's continue. So it's a .NET new Blazor. So I don't want the Blazor one. So we go, okay. So if you're on Windows, you can follow this Windows one. Or if you're on Linux, you can do the Linux one as well. But I don't want the Blazor tutorial. So let's go here. Hopefully they have got other tutorials as well. Create web API in VS Code. Okay, this is the one that I need. Okay, so this is the code that we should be using. It's .NET new web API and then use dash controllers. Okay, I'm going to copy this and let's go into our terminal in VS Code. It's a new web API by using controllers, and the names would be Cognito demo, and press enter. Okay, now it's created. Okay, now let's cd into it. Cognito demo ls. Yeah, so this is the code that we want. Now let's open this code into our VS Code. Let's just press code and dot. Okay, so now this is a VS Code that we need, and we don't need this one. So let's close this one. So inside here, as you can see, there is controller here and program.cs here. So this is the starting point of our application, program.cs. So as you can see, it's .NET 8. In .NET 8, we don't need the startup.cs file like in the previous versions of .NET. From .NET 3, 2, and 4, I think they have startup.cs. Now we don't need that. So everything happens from the program.cs file. And this is our program.solution file. And this is a boilerplate where the forecast. And as you can see, app build, and it has built-in Swagger as well. So let's try to run this. So .NET and run command. So it's starting to build. Now it's inside. It's listening inside this port, localhost 5226. Let's run this one. And now it's giving me 404 error. But if I put like /swagger here, yeah, it's coming. Since it's an API project, so the home page has nothing. But if we put swagger and if we execute, we can see there's some data over here. So that means our application is running, right? Which is good. Now, weather forecast. So if you go to weather forecast, so this is the data that's coming in. It's showing us some random data by using these summaries. But our main issue here is to consume the Cognito. So I'll show you how to use Cognito into our application. But before that, we need to add in some packages. The packages that we need is Amazon ASP.NET Core identity.cognito. I'll copy this. Okay, let's end this one. So we need to add this package. .NET add package. This one. Amazon ASP.NET Core identity.cognito. Okay, and just press enter. Okay, looks like it's done. You can go to CS course file and you can see this one added. Now we need another package as well. So another package is called Amazon extensions.cognito authentication. Let me clear this so you can see clearly. With .NET add package, this one, Amazon extensions.cognito authentication. Okay, let's press enter. Okay, so that has come over here. It's very fast. After that, we need JWT bearer as well. So this one's coming from Microsoft. So .NET add package and enter. It's Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.authentication.jwt. We need this package as well. Yeah. So that's pretty much for now. But if you want to add, you we can probably add entity framework as well, but we'll do that later on if you need to access some data from the database. For now, this much package would be fine. Okay. Now after adding these packages, what we need to do is we need to go to the program.cs file, and inside program.cs file, we need to add. Let's see. So we need builder.services dot add cognito identity. Yeah, this one. And we also need, so these are the middlewares which helps us in building this application. The services dot add authentication, and inside here options such that options dot default authentication scheme is equal to JWT bearer default. Let's see, JWT bearer defaults. Yeah, this one dot authentication scheme. Yeah. After that, we need one more options dot default challenge scheme is equal to new token validation parameter. Now it actually inside JWT bearer defaults dot token. No, actually it's authentication. Okay, so it's same authentication scheme. Actually, it's not a method. Yeah, so it's just this one. I don't know why this intelligence is giving me. It's because I put new in here. It's not new. Okay, after that, we also need to add dot add JWT bearer yet open options such that options dot authority. Yeah, so intelligence is smart enough to give us this URL. So the URL is this one, and our audience. We don't need this audience. So basically, what I'm going to do is instead of putting this one, hard coding this one in here, I'm going to use the configuration file. So let's delete this one. So builder dot, so that we can change that configuration later on. So Cognito authority, yeah, that's right. And options dot token validation parameters is equal to new token validation parameter, and inside here validate issue. This one is not getting the result. Okay, so this one. Something's down here. Okay. So this is the correct namespace Microsoft Identity Model tokens. Okay, let's see what it gives here. Yeah, it's this one. Signing key. You have to make this one true, and validate audience equals false, and role claim type equals, since we are using Cognito, so it would come from groups. So the groups in Cognito are the roles. Okay. So later on in our AWS console, we'll add something in the groups, and whatever we add in the groups, that becomes the role. So in authorization, before authorization, we also need to add app.authentication middleware. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now we can see, okay, now let's authenticate this. Let's add this attribute authorize and see if it works. So .NET run, oops, .NET run, running. Now let's refresh this. Before it was giving us some data, right? Now I think, okay, so it's giving us unauthorized. That means it's working. Now we'll also need to, we should have an ability to pass in the token in this Swagger. Currently we don't have that, so we need one authorized button here. So enable that, we need to add something in the program.cs file. So let's do that. First let's go to program.cs here, and inside the add swagger gen here, we need to pass in some parameters. Okay? I'll just copy this one from the code that I have. Later on you can do the same. You can copy the same. I'll give you access to my this repo, and you can copy the code from there, because this is very long code and I don't want to waste time in like copying and adding stuffs in here. Okay, so let's just copy this, and inside swagger in, just paste this code. So let me resolve this first. This is from OpenAI models. Okay, so what I did here is inside add swagger in options dot swagger dot doc p1, and inside here just demo API, or we can just say demo Cognito demo API version 1, and inside add security definition bearer, and yeah, so this one is to add our token, and inside add security requirement we put these options. Okay, you can copy it from here, or you can go into my code base and copy the code from there. Now let's stop this code for a moment and then restart .NET run. If you are in Visual Studio, just press the play button somewhere in here. You can also go to here and press run and debug, which will give the same result. Okay. Now if we refresh this, now we've got this authorize button here. Now what we can do is, since we don't have the endpoint to log in right now, we'll create that later on. Now we'll just use Postman and just copy this code token from here. Or you can just send it in here, and go to ID token and copy this, and in here just paste this token here and put authorize. Now previously it was giving us 401 unauthorized, Now if we execute it, oh no, we're still getting unauthorized. There's something wrong. Oh, I remember. I think we haven't put the necessary configuration in our app settings.json. What we need is inside our app settings.json, we need, as before we added this, yeah, Cognito authority. We are asking for Cognito authority from configuration file. So we need to create that in here. So let's create Cognito, and inside Cognito, let's create authority, and inside authority, now we need that same code that we use in the Postman, same URL. Now, let's copy this URL and paste it in here. So it's Cognito IDP US is one Amazon AWS, and we also need the this part as well. So this is the part where we can get this part from Cognito console from the AWS. Let's go to AWS, and I'll show you where we get these settings from. Now if we search Cognito, so this is the user pool ID. Let's copy this user pool ID and paste it. Paste it over here. Okay, this one. And after that, we also need to put reason. Reason, let's just put as yes, that is dash one, and we also need client ID, and we grab the client ID from AWS console. So if we for to grab, we have to go to app integration and copy it to app. So this is our client ID. The Cognito app that we created before. Okay. So to confirm if it is the same client ID, we can also go to Postman. As you can see, this is the same client ID. Oh no, it's different. So probably it's the second one. Okay, probably this one. Oh, maybe I have changed the client ID. So probably it's the same, this one. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now let's restart our application and see if it works for us. Now since my client ID is different one, I need to use the, probably it's over here. weather forecast, party. Okay, let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. Let's use a new client ID. And let's use this user. Let's check some users in here. So there's Alex and John. Let's log in with Alex. Okay, so looks like the password is wrong. Let's check John. I think I forgot the password. Let's use forgot password. Let's use Alex. Oops. That's it's actually Alex at mail.com. Later. Okay, let's check mailinator. Oops, I didn't got any. What was my password? Let's use John. You know what? Let's sign up a new user. Let's just say Peter, and email will be peter.parker@.com. Okay, now let's just sign up. Okay, let's just save it for now. Verification code. We'll probably get it in here. Okay, we got it. This one. Let's copy this one and paste it over here and confirm account. Okay, now it's done. So now if you go to Postman and put in Peter, yeah, and let's send it. Okay, now we got the token. Now if we copy this token and paste it in here and authorize. Okay, now we should be getting data. Okay, so it's still getting invalid token. That means something is wrong here. Let's see if this client ID is same 6 and 2482 PS. Probably maybe this one. Let's see. Don't know what's wrong. Okay, client ID is this one. User pool is this one. PFJ. That's same. Let's run it once again. Okay, now let's execute on authorize. Copy this token, log out and paste it over here and authorize. Now execute. It's still on authorize. The issue this is invalid. Okay, so now I figured out what was wrong. So it was a typo case. So in here it should be T authority. Now let's save it and restart our application once again. Now if you go here and execute, yeah, you're going to get data. So now it's getting authenticated by using Cognito API. Right? So we don't only want, what if we want to be authorized as well, authorized by roles? So for that we need to create some groups here. So we've got admin and super admin, right? So what we want to do is this new user, we need to add this to admin. Okay, so that's an admin user now. Now if we put if you go to weather forecast and put here as, for example, roles is equal to, let's say, admin. Now let's restart this once again. Okay, it's started. Now if you go to Swagger and if you just execute, it must, okay, now it's saying 403 forbidden. That's because it's unauthorized, right? So what we have to do is we have to generate a new token of the same user, since now this time if we check this token inside JWT, yeah, you will see Cognito groups and it's sending us admin. So now what happens is now in our program.cs, it will get these Cognito groups from that token and we'll get the admin user in the roles claim. And that's how it's going to be authorized. Now if you press execute, at first we need that token here. We need to put this token over here and authorize. Now if you press execute, okay, we're getting this data back. So we are both authenticated and authorized to use this endpoint. So this is how we use Cognito API from .NET. Okay. So now that we have consumed the APIs, let's also make the endpoint to register and login into Cognito. Okay, let's make some endpoint as well. So for that, we'll need to make a new controller. So it's going to be API controller, and let's make this. Let's say this as Auth controller, and inside Auth controller, what we need is okay. Inside Auth controller, we need to create one register endpoint, login endpoint, and we also need one confirm endpoint. So let's first create a constructor. And inside constructor, we need the I configuration to bring in the app settings. I'll click in here and just use initialize field, and let's get region, not this region, region, oops, regi, region is equals to region endpoint from Amazon dot get system name, yeah, this one from config Cognito region. Remember we put Cognito region here, so we want to get this one. And also we need to generate field region. Okay. After that we also need AWS client ID configuration. Inside configuration we need Cognito client ID. Just config AWS client ID generate field AWS client ID. Okay. Now let's make HTTP. So we need a post endpoint. So it's going to be post, and let's call this register. Public async task I action result register request. And this is correct, but we need to make this register request. It's not this one. Okay, actually we need to make a new, let's just create a new folder here. Let's call this models, and inside model we need new class. Let's call this register model actually. And inside the register model, what we need is the username. Drop and double tap. So oops, string username, password, and email. Let's just copy this. Password, email. Let's make this capital as well. So we're going to copy this, and instead of request, there's a model. Let's just call this as a model, okay? And bringing the namespace, yeah, this one. And inside here, okay, inside where what we need is var provider is equals new Amazon Cognito provider client, this one. And we're gonna put a region here, var request equals new sign up request, and inside here we're gonna put client ID equals client ID, username equals model dot username, and password equals model dot password. Okay, you can also put other attributes like user attributes equals name equals uh, okay, so we need new attribute type, and inside here we need name, yeah, equals email, and value is equal to model dot email. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And let's format this a bit. After that, we need to call the, let's put try and catch. Exception ex, yeah, that's correct. So whenever there's error, we'll just hit on bad request, just bad request. REGIS registration failed, and ex dot message. Yeah, this intelligence is very smart. It knows what I want to type. And inside try, I want response from this provider provider dot sign up. Yeah, this one. Response is equals to, okay. So whatever that's in the request, we're going to sign up with that response. And if the response is okay, if there is no any exceptions, then we're going to get okay response 200, and we'll just send back this response. Okay, so this is how we are going to register. So let's test this. Let's start this and let's see if this is showing up in our Swagger. And let's refresh this one. Okay, now it's coming. API slash auth slash register. API slash auth slash register. Now, if we try it out, if you put a new name, suppose for example, Mary, let's just put this one as an email would be mary.jane@.com. Now let's execute. Okay, now it looks like user confirm is false, but the user is created. The code is 200. That means if we go in here in the user pools, Cognito demo, we should get the new user called Mary. Okay, we got it, but it's unconfirmed. We need to go to our Melinator, Mary.jane, to see if we got. Okay, back to okay. Mary.jane, Mary Jane. Okay, we got it. Now, you know what? Let's not confirm it from here. We can make a confirmation email, confirmation endpoint ourselves. Let's do it from that later on. Okay. Now let's work on. Okay. Now we need to make one confirm email and one confirm endpoint, and another is login endpoint. Let's make confirm endpoint and let's see if it works. If this works. Okay. Let's enter. Oops. So it's also going to be HTTP post. HTTP post. Let's just say confirm, and this is also going to be public async. Yeah, this one confirm model. Wow, this is very smart. And we need to make, let's see if this generates as a generate class confirm model. It generates, but I don't know where it will it generate. Or it generates just in here. Can we move this? Move type to confirm model.cs. Yeah, it does move as well, but it moves in here. Let's uh, drop it over here. But I think the namespace would be different. Cognito.model. The namespace should be this one. Cognito.model. And inside confirm model, what we need is we need a confirmation code and the username. Okay. So drop, oops, drop and string. At first we need a username and then we need confirmation code. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, now it's working. Now inside confirmation code, okay, let's use var provider is equal to new Amazon Cognito identity provider client, and we'll send the region here var confirm request. This is the new confirm sign up request, and inside that we're going to send client ID usual AWS client ID. The client ID is the same client ID that we can get from the app settings, and after that we also need the username is equal to model.username, and confirmation code would also be the model.confirmation code. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we need to wrap it by try and catch. So we're going to use the same code as before, this one, but this time instead we will say confirmation failed. If something goes wrong, it will come inside this message. And in try catch where confirmation response confirm just be over response is equal to await. Yeah, this is the one. Where confirmations is equal to await provider.confirm sign up async confirm request. Yeah, and then we also need to return okay and confirm response. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's restart our application. Now let's go to Swagger UI and refresh. Now we got confirm endpoint as well, so we need to send Mary. I remember the confirmation code. Let's get confirmation code from the email and put it over here. Just paste it and execute. It says 200. That means it's confirmed. Now let's refresh this. Let's go to our AWS console and refresh this, and it says confirm. That means our confirmation endpoint is also working. Bingo. Now let's just create the login endpoint as well. Yep. Now, okay, this is also going to be HTTP post. Let's minimize this code as well. HTTP post and login. So it's going to be public async task. Yeah, this one. Well, we need to create the login model. Let's just go to login, create new file, call login model. Yeah, inside login model we need a username and password. So let's prop double click string username password login model. Okay, that's done. Here we'll need the same thing, the provider here as well. By provider equals new Amazon Cognito identity provider client, and we're going to send reason var request equals AWS client ID auth parameters is equals. So here we gonna need to send auth parameter as well, and and this is going to be in key pair. So we'll create a new dictionary string, and inside here we're going to send username. Yeah, this is the one. Model dot username and password also model dot password. It's small m. Oops. Yeah, and what's so auth parameters. New dictionary string. There's something wrong here. Okay, file request is good. Okay, here is something wrong. Okay, file request is equal to new. It should be new. It should be new. Initiate auth request. And inside here, we need to put auth flow auth flow type dot. Remember the password auth that we selected, so we need to select this here as well, and then we need to send client ID as well. Client ID AWS client ID and auth parameters. Okay, so this auth parameters, this one should be in over here. So this one is the mistake that we made before. Let's format it. Okay, that's better. Okay, now we need try catch once again. Let's. I think this should be option to surround code with try catch. Usually in Visual Studio we got that option. Let's see we have that in VS Code as well. Over we need provider dot initiate auth async request, and then we return okay the response. Okay, now if we select this, click this one, surround with try catch. This should be surround with okay snippet. Let's see try catch. Okay, so they have this option in here as well. Okay, and it's not system that exception, just exception ex, and let's copy this code, paste it over here, and say let's say this as login failed. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now if we stop and restart this application and refresh this, now we just log in as well. Let's try out a login. So we got Mary, and let's put password, and it's giving us the token as well. So, so our registration, login, and confirm token is also done. So guys, this is how we make endpoints for the Cognito API from .NET and from Postman. So we managed to do both authentication and authorization of the Cognito API from our .NET application. So this is the one that I wanted to teach you. You can go into this code. You can go into the repository for the code as well. And guys, if you like my way of teaching, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. That will really help me to motivate and make some more videos like this. So if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. Thank you very much, guys. See you on other videos. Bye.